Web3 is a place that is always moving at this breakneck pace. Everything is just changing all the time. But occasionally, something comes along that seems to just destroy all speed records, legitimize the space even more, and drive deeper growth in Web3. And recently, that happened with a lot of big news about Amazon moving into Web3 spaces. So today, we're going to talk about what's happening with Amazon and Web3, why it's actually a great thing for the space, and how you can prepare your business for this big move. My name is Trent Kennelly. I'm a Web3 marketing strategist, and this is the best place for you to learn about Web3, NFTs, and how to market it all. So if that sounds good to you and you're excited, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, comment to let me know how you feel about Amazon moving into Web3 spaces. This kind of thing with these big businesses could always be a little bit conflicting. Some people love it, some people hate it. I would love to get your thoughts, but until then, let's get started. Okay, so what's happening right now? So Amazon has been hinting at getting involved in the Web3 space for quite a long time. So much so that there have been dozens of scams surrounding Amazon cryptocurrency and offerings that have come out allegedly before that haven't actually come out. But in the last few days, a couple of different things have started to surface. So first, Avalanche and Amazon announced a partnership. So for those of you who don't know, Avalanche is an open source blockchain technology company with their own blockchain that's designed to be more stable and more reliable. It's kind of geared at traditional finance companies, kind of trying to pull them into the mix. And Avalanche has teamed up specifically with Amazon Web Services, which is one of the biggest website hosting platforms on the planet, to do some complicated code and programming stuff. So for example, in Avalanche's announcement, they said, quote, AWS, Amazon Web Services, supports Avalanche's infrastructure and DApp ecosystem, including one-click node development through the AWS marketplace, which is a complicated bit of language that really just means that developers can more easily work with the tools that Amazon Web Services provides when implementing blockchain-related apps and solutions. So it sounds complicated. For a programmer, it just makes things easier. But that isn't the only Amazon news today. So there's also been intel that Amazon is looking hard at entering the NFT market. It's even become possible that they're possibly going to enter the NFT game as early as the spring. Now, what that means as far as how they're entering the NFT game is kind of anyone's guess. It's not super clear at this moment, but the easiest, most straightforward, most logical solution for an e-commerce company like Amazon is to just go head to head with OpenSea. It makes sense as a basic extension of their existing business model, doesn't it? I mean, Amazon became a big player by selling physical products like books, lampshades, dog food, whatever, right? Then with the Kindle, with digital games, with other web-first concepts, they evolved into selling digital products as well. So it is completely natural that their business would continue to evolve into unique digital goods like NFTs, doesn't it? And when you just take a step back and look at the players in the game right now, like OpenSea, for example, just ask yourself this about OpenSea. How is OpenSea not simply Amazon for NFTs? How? I mean, OpenSea sells NFTs, it sells music NFTs, it sells NFT games, it sells stuff for games for, Decentraland or whatever as NFTs. It sells land. These are many different products that are all digital and unique, and they sell them through OpenSea, right? And you can only get some of these through OpenSea, much in the same way that you can only get certain products through Amazon. It is very much the NFT Amazon. So let's talk about why this move is potentially great for this space. So this move adds a lot of legitimacy in Web3 more generally. So as much as we love to talk about decentralization and how great it is to be apart from those big companies, I've also been saying for a long time that getting people on board requires trust and legitimacy. Most people who are going to potentially be Web3 users don't want to be the first to jump into a new place. And they want to see that others have gone first and been successful. And even though there are a lot of mixed opinions about behemoths like Amazon, they do have huge follower numbers. They do have huge numbers of people who will basically follow anything that they put out there in the world, which means that those people that follow a company like Amazon, and obviously that's most of the Western world because we all go and buy things from Amazon or they wouldn't be a behemoth, right? Those people are more likely to follow a company like Amazon into a new domain that they might not have understood before. Now, it doesn't always work out. I would cite Facebook/Meta and the metaverse. That's not really going great. But nonetheless, you have a big company moving into a space in a smart way, people are going to follow. Their timing here also helps bolster the space quite a bit. So as you're probably aware at this point, there's been a severe downturn in the NFT market over the last year and a half or so. You can watch this video for more information about what's happening there. But just a quick summary of the most important bit. NFTs, like all new technology, they go through a hype cycle. So they start off slow, they get a huge boom of excitement, they drop into this trough of disillusionment where lots of those initial users that were there during that boom period are starting to leave the technology behind and decide that it's not worth it. And then if everything goes to plan, we get to the bottom of that trough of disillusionment, and then things start to grow more sustainably than before. They just kind of move their way back up into something that we use every single day. But that final growth element is not at all guaranteed. Just because the technology is on the hype cycle doesn't mean it's going to stay there and make it through. Many technologies get to the trough of disillusionment only to fizzle out and disappear completely. And Amazon coming in at this point right in the middle of the trough is going to do a lot to help NFTs push through this area and back into that steady growth phase by adding that legitimacy that was not there before and showing other people that were maybe still doubting the technology or had gone from true believer status to no longer believing in it. Now they're going to come back and they're going to say, well, if Amazon believes in it, maybe I do too. And then finally, they're bringing a lot of simplicity. Now, they're not doing it yet. Let's be clear that nothing in Web3 is simple right now, okay? It's not easy to, set up a wallet and then go through multiple verification checks and then understand transaction and gas fees and, everything else that needs to go into, being involved in blockchain. It can be very overwhelming. But what I am saying is that with businesses adopting this space more openly, that simplicity is going to come because they're going to say, if we want to maximize the number of users that are going to come to my Web3 spaces, I need to simplify the process to get them here because people are not going to want to go through all that complicated stuff to find it, no matter how free it is once you arrive. So now that you understand kind of what's coming, how can you prepare to get involved in the changes that are coming your way right now? Because these are big changes. We need to be ready to kind of ride the wave here, okay? There are complex and simple ways that we can look at this. Let's talk complex first. And what you really have to ask yourself when you're looking at whether you should, get into the weeds is whether you're technical or not. If you can get into code and technical areas of Web3, then you should probably start thinking about building something on the Avalanche network, a D app or something like that. Now, I mentioned Avalanche here and not Amazon, even though most of the video is about Amazon, because Avalanche is the experts. They're the ones with the blockchain. Amazon is using Avalanche's services to benefit Amazon customers, right? So if you're an AWS user, then great, you can take advantage. But the real grower in this agreement, the one that is seeing the growth opportunity, is Avalanche. Avalanche has just gained access to millions of people that they might not otherwise have reached. So building on Avalanche is the way to go. Look at Avalanche here because they are the ones that are going to boom. But coding is not the only answer here, right? Yes, Web3 is very complicated, but even non-technical people have a chance to succeed in Web3. So here's my advice to you right now on the non-technical, the more simplistic side. Diversify. In the Web3 space, up to now, we've relied on only a few of the different options that are available to us and kind of held those options up as the gold standard. But Amazon is going to drive stronger competition, and not only because they themselves are going to drive more people into the Web3 space. It's also because along with a big player entering the ring, loads of smaller players jump in as well. A lot of those that either weren't aware before or were wary to start a Web3 business are going to feel more secure in the space because of Amazon, which means that you need to diversify where you're building your business. So just to explain this a little bit further, let's look at NFTs. This is the most obvious example because of the rumors about Amazon starting their own platform. So let's look at that. And there are already big players in the NFT market, right? I mean, we're looking at OpenSea, LooksRare, Rarible, Nifty Gateway, a bunch of different players. But the king has unquestionably been OpenSea for a long time. Anybody who wants to buy or sell NFTs typically goes there first. Yes, others still get a huge amount of traffic, but OpenSea has been the Amazon to Rarible's eBay for a long time. And Amazon's entry into the market really kind of throws a wrench in the works because they can just kind of throw their weight around. So where I would tell you in like this video, for instance, to choose one platform and sell through that one alone, the game has changed now. We don't know who's going to win the OpenSea Amazon battle. And frankly, your business shouldn't put its success on the shoulders of either one because you don't know which one's going to win. So in the NFT world, consider minting individually and selling on every platform at the same time. Yeah, it's more expensive and it makes lazy minting harder, but for the time being, that may be just the price to pay. And there are a lot more examples of things that your business can do to prepare, but I think the best thing to do here is to just kind of get a proper mindset. So you should be doing two different things here. You should be hedging your bets, like in the NFT example we just went through, but you should also be looking at the places where success has a higher probability and looking for ways to be successful alongside them, like in the Avalanche example with the Avalanche apps and building those out, for example. The best way to prepare for everything here is kind of to do both, to hedge and to look toward the future. So there you have it. That is huge news for the Web3 space. I think it's going to make for a very exciting time ahead. Let me know how you feel about Amazon moving into the space and what you're planning to do about it, if anything, if you're going to take advantage of something, or if you're just kind of see how it passes. Otherwise, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, and I will catch you in the next one.